And the court also made a ruling in a local case we have been following. A Lancaster County man, a big victory. That's what was handed to him today. Evan Popalis is in our newsroom with that story. Evan.
Valerie, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of Gerald Groff, who said the Postal Service failed to accommodate his religious beliefs when it tried to make him work on Sundays. Starting in 2012, Groff worked as a fill-in carrier, but when the U.S. Postal Service made a deal to start delivering Amazon packages on Sundays, Groff transferred to a different post office in Quarryville. Then, when that post office began Sunday Amazon deliveries too, Groff refused to work those shifts, forcing his employers to find other carriers to cover for him. Over time, supervisors began imposing discipline for Groff for missing Sunday shifts, and in 2019, he resigned, then sued, claiming he had faced religious discrimination. The case worked its way up to the Supreme Court, which heard arguments earlier this year. And today, the justices unanimously sided with Groff for now. In the court's opinion, Justice Samuel Alito wrote that Groff's case ties back to an older Supreme Court ruling on religious accommodations and said lower courts didn't correctly apply that law when it decided this case. So what happens now? The Supreme Court is kicking this back to the Third U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, and Justice Alito acknowledges Groff could still lose the case there. But all 9 justices say whatever happens, they wanted to take this opportunity to make sure the law was being correctly applied. Valerie?
Thanks, Evan. So what's the bottom line here, though? What is this case going to boil down to?
Valerie, the question here is whether Groff's request to be off Sundays impose what the law calls undue hardship on the post office, because his supervisors would have had to get his shifts covered, which could come with extra costs like overtime pay for other workers. The justices clarified that the law requires employers to reasonably accommodate their workers' religions, and that simply having to pay some overtime or asking other workers to swap shifts may not be unreasonable. Valerie, I'm talking to local legal experts about this case, and I'll have more coming up tonight at 5 and 6. Live in the newsroom, Evan Popalis, ABC 27 News.
Thank you, Evan.